Hey Eastview, happy Monday. We hope you're doing well. Today, as you can see, I'm not at my house. I'm actually at my office. So I got a little change of setting, but we really hope that you've been enjoying these Monday and Wednesday and Friday Devos. You just need to know from myself, from Nikki, Sarah, Jason Sniff, other people who've done these Devos, we really appreciate bringing a Devo to you during the week. We feel encouraged and supported by you as a staff as we continue to walk through all that's happening with our church. And so thank you. Thank you. And we hope to continue to do these up through Easter and then maybe change course a little bit after Easter. More on that later. But for now, let's talk about Tommy Poet's sermon yesterday. He spoke at the Normal campus, did a great job talking about the difference between false hope and the true hope that we find in God. And his anchor verse was Jeremiah 23, verse 16. And it says this. This is what the Lord Almighty says. Do not listen to what the prophets are prophesying to you. They fill you with false hopes. They speak visions from their own minds, not from the mouth of the Lord. So the context of this verse is that the prophet Jeremiah, he was preaching hope from the word of God, trying to help the Israelites navigate uncertainty and challenges. But then you had these false prophets that were also preaching to the Israelites, and they were spreading lies and really just trying to get personal gain and take advantage of people. And so as we dove into that, Tommy kind of walked us through the different ways we as human beings, we as people have tried to believe in hopes other than God. So much so to say that anytime we try to make the world a better place, anytime we try to come up with a new idea, we try to help each other out, but we remove God from that process, and it all ends up being on our own thoughts, our own visions, our own ideas. It doesn't work. We need to rely upon God. We need to put our hope in God. He read from Psalm 135. It says this, I wait for the Lord. My whole being waits, and in his word I put my hope. Putting our hope in what God has said, who he is, how he's been faithful in the past, therefore he will be faithful in the present and in the future. That's where we find encouragement, where we find peace, because we can put our hope in what God has said in his word. And so he even at the end had 3 ideas that we could take home with us. He said this. Number 1, we study the word. We read the Bible every day. That's why we do Devos. We believe in what God has said. Again, therefore we can trust him in the future with what he's going to do. And then he said, number 2, we believe the word. We don't just read it and then say, oh, that was a cool and encouraging thing that God said in the past. No, we actually believe what God said actually happened. We believe that Jesus raised from the dead. We believe the stories about Jesus. We believe the stories about the prophets. We believe the Bible. And that is what gives us a sense of hope as well. And then number 3, we don't just study, we don't just believe, but we live on the word. It's a part of our life. We are encouraged by what we read, and then we believe what we read, and then we live out what we read, so that our words change and our actions change because of the word in the Bible and what we believe about God. We hope this was encouraging to you yesterday, and we hope that as you go throughout this week, that as you read, would you consider that you believe what you're reading, and then would you live out what you're reading? So happy Monday once again. We love you all. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you Wednesday.